सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. May the Lord protect us, may He nourish us, may we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant, may we not cavil at each other. Om peace, peace, peace unto us all. So we are going to have lunar.
We'll begin by just talking about the significance of the last couple of days. So yesterday, January 29th, 2025, marked the first day. Just after you talk about. There we go. Sorry. Sairam, I'll just repeat what I just said. So yesterday, January 29th, 2025, marked the beginning of the Lunar New Year. The significance of the Lunar New Year is actually when we have the first new moon of the lunar calendar. I've always believed personally that the year does not really start on January 1st. It starts on the Lunar New Year time. This year, we are entering the year of the wood snake. Basically, this symbolizes a lot of good things, good luck, rebirth, and regality. What the Lunar New Year really represents is that we are to welcome prosperity, goodness, and most folks will wear red. Yesterday I was walking in the Arboretum and I saw a lot of folks wearing red because red actually symbolizes good fortune and joy. We also, it's a time for folks to honor their ancestors as well as certain deities. You'll see different Buddhas, and a lot of the emphasis is on prosperity during this time. Interestingly, 1/5 of the world population actually does celebrate the Lunar New Year. And each year is 12 animals. How they came up with where these animals are placed, I'm not sure, but a lot of it has to do with elements and the energy that each animal represents. Many times in a traditional gathering, you're usually with your family and people will give money in red envelopes. This year, the significance of this, the year of the snake, is really the significance of transformation. In Chinese culture, they actually think of snakes as little dragons. So they feel that the skin of the snake is actually like the coat of the dragon. So this year would be representing the year that the dragon's coat actually comes off to reveal its true self. And obviously what snakes represent, and we have this parallel of the Kundalini energy as well, which is sort of represented by this serpent, but it represents regeneration and transformation. If you think about snakes, they shed their skin. And even for us, it's metaphorically during this time, we sort of shed our skin. We kind of shed this being that we think we are. You know, Swami always talks about, you know, who we think we are, who others think we are, and who we really are. And maybe we're coming to that place of who we really are. And it's a time to also engage in some introspection, in addition to just pursuing all kinds of wonderful things like love and happiness. Now, I always think it's fun to think about how people celebrate these traditions. So there are different foods that people eat. They all symbolize some aspect of good fortune. So they traditionally will eat a steamed whole fish, which represents prosperity and abundance. They eat a specific type of noodle, yimain, which represents long life. They also have dumplings, which are kind of small. They also symbolize wealth. Sweet rice balls, which are called tangyan, and they represent unity, harmony, and family togetherness. And they also eat tangerines, and the golden rinds symbolize wealth. Some places I've also seen oranges as well. So that is some little fun facts about Lunar New Year, but what it represents for us is really this regeneration and rebirth and really growing into our authentic selves. So a very happy and holy Lunar New Year to everyone, all of our brothers and sisters and elders. Sairam.
Thank you, Nirupama. It was nice. So how many of your people saw the Chinese New Year program? Anybody here who saw the program? I think people need to go and watch. It's absolutely fantastic. It's really, really. We ourselves we put in Sathya Sai International Organization YouTube, and we feel sad. Such a beautiful message and harmony, and so much hard work has been done. I was getting goosebumps when there's people were really the snakes going up and they're dancing. Those Chinese people, Chinese devotees of Swami, how much love, and they were actually playing a lot of. It's they are talking in Chinese, and there's very beautifully the translation also is there. It's very nicely done. I think everybody should go and watch. Otherwise, Dr. Reddy will do a quiz on that next time. So better be prepared about that. So the second thing is we are supposed. There was a document sent out. Anybody opened the document? It's all about what? I'm not asking the president. She would know because she's the one who's sending it. So it's about 108 names. So we were discussing about what we can do. Then we said, okay, the Bhagavad Gita has a style of Dr. Reddy, what he brings. So whatever the Gita Vakini we were doing, so we just wanted to break a little bit until he comes back. He'll be soon be here. Then we can go back to the Gita Vahini, because there was a continuity that he maintains with the slokas and how he matches with the Gita, whatever we has, and we truly enjoy that. So we thought, okay, this one was sent out. I don't know how many people opened and read it. Now, at least it would be a good way to start about discussing the 108 names. We all chant, and many people know by heart. They memorized it. They chant regularly. They also have, the commentaries for that one. And also, it's also self-reflection of, so all those 4 things that we do with the names. And always names, we always talk about Swami, how many times Swami has done Namasparana, we always talk about it. Even now during the Shivaratri, we are going to do Akhanda Bhajan. Bhajan is nothing but chanting his name, glorifying his name and his glories. So it's a name is so, it's throughout the scriptures, Vishnu Sahasranam, Lalita Sahasranam, whatever we talk, that name has so much significance, and we've been told even other religions, you take Christians, they also have, they chant. So praise the Lord or some name they chant. So it is always very important that we give so much importance to the name. Why? Then we go into that and we say why it is being given so much importance. One thing we have to understand is that the name and the person, the form, the name and the form always go together. You might say, hey, how is that possible? But that's true, because the moment the avatar took birth, before that, the name was there, but it didn't manifest. We didn't know about the name. But the name, when Avatar took birth, and he grew up, and then how Swami is, he has his form, a beautiful form. We all know his Anupama Sundara is so beautiful. We all ran to see him. Anybody here who would say no to see him? No, everybody will run for him, right? So that beautiful, in that kashaya vastram he wears, and beautiful hair, the cheeks, any part you take, the moment you say the name, immediately we relate, and we have pictured him inside in one form, and we all immediately start meditating about. So the name Nami and the form, that is more go together with a set of attributes or properties. So the moment you say Sathya Sai Baba, immediately we know where we go. Similarly, Lord Krishna, how he would be, he has a flute, he has a peacock feather, all that about that form, right? So the most important thing is the physical form was there, we all ran, and now the physical form is not there to see physically. But the moment we say the name and we close our eyes, we can do that meditation inside. So even removing that form, it already got pictured in us. So in a way, name is taking us to the next step from that form to the slowly to go to the formless. And by chanting and chanting and chanting, we slowly become him. The way that they tell is basically there is there's charcoal, there's a burning thing. So what happens is the coal goes near and near and near, that also becomes fire. So that's a fire. How it becomes fire, this is how it. So we go on chanting the name and name and name. Then Sathya Sai Baba is God, so we will be God. So that is a way to look at it. So the chanting is so important because we will realize the ultimate. So that is why always this name is given so much importance. Swami has given so much importance, and we go, and every time when we go and read any discourse, at least some place he will talk about the name of the Lord. So we understand from that perspective. Now this 108 names, the scriptural committee has been doing for 6 separate guides that they're going to send, 18 of them, so which is going to be 108. For 6 guides they're going to do, so 6 into 18, 108. So that's how they are splitting it. There's an introduction. We don't need to go through the introduction. We can go to straight to the name itself, and then we can read. The most important thing is that in all these names, what we are chanting, we chant Om Shri Bhagawan Sathya Sai Baba Namaha. Om Shri Bhagavan Sathya Sai. Om Shri Sai Satya Swarupa Namaha. So the first name alone has got the Bhagavan. So why that Bhagavan? When we started Sri Rudram, how does it start? Om Nama Bhagavate Rudraya. In the singular form, that Bhagavate Rudraya, it's Bhagavan, Bhagavate. You can see when it starts, always it will start that way. Even Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavanu Vacha, when Bhagavan starts Bhagavanu Vacha, because Bhagavan, who is this Bhagavan? Then we have to understand what is this before even going into the name. So why I'm saying is this, because we have to relate and have that faith. Without developing that faith, name and form cannot do anything. Once we develop, so it all goes together. Once we develop the faith, name and form will come, and then put together we will have that, whatever the goal that we want to achieve, we can achieve. So Bhagavan is a Gunavan. Gunavan means what? Who has all good virtues, right? Dhanavan, he has all riches. He's rich guy, so Dhanavan. Balavan, who has got all strength and stuff. So Bhagavan, what is that Bhaga? We have to know. So who possesses this Bhaga, right? Some, in a way, Bhaga is opulence. It's kind of uh, some richness. We must have that Bhaga. So 6 qualities if somebody has, then they can call themselves Bhagavan. So if we have to, because this guide talks about know thyself and mirrors, reflection, you get to know thyself. That means you will become Bhagavan. For becoming Bhagavan, you have to have that 6 attributes, 6 opulences, it's called, considered. Bhaga means then the 6 opulence you have to have. What is that? Aishwaryasya. That is the first thing. And it's not that Aishwarya, it's a samagrasya. It's in Vishnu Puranam, it talks about very simply about what is Bhagavan. It defines. Samagrasya means not half and partial. He is fully rich. That means you might say, okay, in the New York, there is a big guy. It's like Jeff Bezos is the Amazon guy. He is the richest man. Well, richest man, whatever he has, so many billions of dollars. But he doesn't own still my bank account. So he still doesn't have some money what other people have. So if you really look at it, he's not the really richest. When Bhagavan is fully rich, that means there is nothing he leaves. Fully rich means everything is in him. He is the richest. There cannot be anybody richer than him. So if you really look at it, that he doesn't have, it's not that something is outside of him. That kind of richness. So when he says, I am in everything, I am everything, that means he's not leaving alone anything. So that one attribute itself tells us that if you have to become Bhagavan, then it is not a simple thing unless we realize who we are. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya. So somebody has that power. You have to have the ultimate strength. That means there cannot be any strength beyond him. So atom bomb is one atom bomb, he is 1,000 atom bombs. No, he is the infinite. In anything, whatever we talk is full. We have to talk. Yashasya, it calls fame. Somebody who has that supreme fame. The moment we all know how when we go to this 80th birthday, 70th birthday, when we looked at Swami, so many millions of people, then we say, oh my God, what a fame it is. He also loves that kind of when devotees come and gather in his name. So that is another thing. Shriyaha. Shriyaha wants what? That means he has all the prosperity. He never, it's not just has something and doesn't have something else. No, he has everything. In Shriyaha, Jnana Vairagyascha. So that means he has to have the knowledge and the Vairagya. Now this is the beauty part. He has the everything and also renunciant. Can you believe it? I used to see and immediately think about Swami in the farm. And one time I did realize that it's a beautiful, that car, that BMW car. He used to come. It's so vast and he's so small, right? You're trying to look for him. Not many people were there in the Kulwant Hall. The car was just coming in this side. He was sitting on one side. He was just looking at the devotees. No awareness of anything. It's just only devotees. He's just what is that purity that really, it's nothing. Oh, I'm in the big car. So many people are there. They are looking for him. Nothing. It's just completely renunciant. That means complete detachment while you have everything. Somebody might say, okay, I can say, I renounce and I detach. Well, you don't have anything. What are you going to detach yourselves? You have everything, but still you are detached. That is Bhagavan. So once we have that kind of that Bhaga, then we will be Bhagavan ourselves. Now I will go into that name. Each name will go quickly. We'll go to the name and read that first name. I think I don't know how many we can do. First, we'll start with Bhagavan Sai Baba Namaha, which is page number 7. We start from there. because the introduction and all people can read it. I will go to the names directly, okay? And then we'll discuss and move on. Questions.
Om Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Babaya Namaha. Bhagwan Sri Krishna, while giving the sacred teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, the celestial song, to Arjuna, who was standing perplexed and disheartened before the great battle of Kurukshetra, blessed him with the divine revelation. I'm just going to skip to the English, sorry. Whenever there is a decay of dharma, O Bharata, and an uprising of adharma, then I embody myself. Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba has also blessed us with a similar revelation in a historic discourse of November 23, 1968. In order that you may attain the only goal of human life, namely, realizing the divine and becoming divine, the eternal has limited itself and come in this human form. He will reveal the ideals of life again and reestablish them among all men. In this historic declaration, he reminds us that not only is he the very form of the eternal, but that all human beings are truly divine. This understanding serves as a powerful reminder that our thoughts, actions, and interactions can reflect the higher virtues of love, compassion, and kindness. When we acknowledge our inherent divinity, we become motivated to strive for integrity, empathy, and service to others, fostering a sense of unity and purpose in our communities. To underline this life goal and help us reach its realization, Sathya Sai Baba lovingly explains the letters of the word Baba stand for being, awareness, bliss, Atma. By repeatedly chanting this name, at the beginning of the garland of his 108 names, and reflecting on its profound significance, we are assured of ultimately realizing our true self, Atma, as the very form of being, awareness, and bliss, Satchit Ananda, and achieving union with the Supreme Lord. Do you want me to read this?
Yeah, please.
For the first self-reflection question, what will I do to gain a deeper realization of the fact that I am inherently a divine being as everyone else?
One couple of things. So in this, he described about Baba being awareness, bliss, Atma. That's one side of, I don't know, Sai is not there. Sai means, if it in that same connotation, see always inside. That's what Swami said. Sai Baba is see always inside, being awareness, bliss, Atma. But in a true thing, it is Sai Baba is divine, Satya, true divine mother and father. That's another alternate, another meaning of Satya Sai Baba. Satya is true, truth, and Sai Baba is mother and father. So it's divine mother and father, which is really speaking, what it means is that the fundamentally is the creation. It's the basically it represents the father and mother, the Adi, Shiva and Shakti, represents the whole universal creation, sustenance and delusion. Basically, all the three together, right? It's not just that's Bhagawan Sathya Sai Baba has got the entire thing. So everything about the creation and sustenance and then final dissolution. Basically, all the three, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, is contained in that one single name. And here it's talking about the self reflection is that, I'm inherently a divine being in as everyone else. So this kind of questions are given, what will I do to gain? So, any practical reflections anybody has, it's what is being asked. What will I do to gain? Only simple thing. You have to go on saying the name and you will gain the realization. So, it's not that it's going to, the realization is going to just dawn. We cannot say how it's going to come, when it's going to come, why it's coming. There is no reason or season for it. So that is why we have to patiently do our sadhana. That is also talked about in the introduction, at least. Go on doing the sadhana, then will, by His grace, we will come to know our true realization. So, the real problem is this: there is only one, that is the truth. There's only Bhagawan, there's nobody else. Because He is everything, He is already putting, I already told what is the name of Bhagawan. But we, from the moment we wake up till we go back to sleep, to the deep sleep, we think we are different. So already it is built into our system that I am different. When I am different, I am go on meditating that I am he. That is also not going to solve the problem. We have to understand. But then what do I do? How will I get realized? Let me tell you, there's a very beautiful bhajan is being sung. We ourselves forget, and then say suddenly we think that Swami is coming and sitting there in the. So we forget ourselves about our presence of our body, our mind, and everything. We think about Him, then we are slowly forgetting about the duality. But still, that duality is there, but at least we are marching towards that, what that oneness is going to be. One thing we can always see is that they say when you're doing the soham, when you're doing the breath control, you momentarily you will feel when you completely stop, then you cannot think anything. Then you can also feel that presence. But you have to go on practicing, because it's a millisecond you realize what it is, because then it's basically the real awareness. But the ultimate truth is that by His grace, by chanting His name as the easiest path what Bhagavan has given, we will realize. We need to have that faith. Any comments? Otherwise, we can go to the next name.
Sairam, I think Brother Krishna mentioned meditation, and really in terms of sadhana, that's probably one of the most practical ways of becoming aware of the inherent divinity within all, especially within ourselves. It's at that moment when you're really, when you start practicing, that's when the division of identifying with the body starts to slowly dissipate, and the focus really becomes your connectedness to the divine. And when you do that, you really start to kind of shed away a lot of these different attachments that hold us back. I mean, it kind of goes along with the theme of, I guess, this year of the snake, right? This whole idea of transformation and getting rid of the things that hold you back so you can be your authentic self. I love I think we're going to go into the next name, and we talk a little more about this, but it's a lot, being in touch with your own authenticity, and what that is the divine nature in all of us.
Anybody has any comments? Okay, we can go to the next one.
Om Sri Sathya Sai Swarupaya Namaha. Salutations to Sri Sai, who is the very form of truth. Trikalabhadyam Satyam. Truth remains unchanged in the three dimensions of time: past, present, and future. This is a Sanskrit saying that Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba repeatedly quotes in his discourses. He also says the creation emerges from truth and merges back into truth. Is there a place in the cosmos where truth does not exist? Visualize this pure and unsullied truth. Truth is God, God is truth. A profound statement that encapsulates the very essence of the divine. But how can we come to realize this divine truth? Swami has manifested as the embodiment of formless truth, guiding us on this spiritual journey. He chose the name Satya, which means truth, highlighting his role as the personification of this fundamental principle. Seeking truth goes beyond mere intellectual understanding. It involves living in harmony with the principles of honesty, integrity, and love. As we align our thoughts and actions with these principles, we slowly awaken to the divine reality that resides within us. Ultimately, through devotion to Satya, we can peel back the layers of illusion and connect with the profound, unchanging truth that is God, experiencing the divine nature that permeates all existence. Sathya Sai Baba came among us and blessed us with his darshan, sparshan, and sambhashan to help us achieve this profound understanding that truth is our own true self, and to experience the highest bliss from this realization. Baba embodies this bliss and constantly reminds us that we are also this absolute, the eternal, the one truth without a second. So, a couple of self reflection questions here. How will I practice the principles of honesty, integrity, and love to help me awaken the divine reality of my true self? And secondly, the name suggests that we live the truth every day of our life. What are the challenges in expressing this ideal in today's world?
Yeah, Bhagavan is the very form of truth. Sathya Swarupaya Namaha. So we offer ourselves to them, to him, the truth. The truth, Swami, in many discourses, he has elaborated. But simply one thing, speaking the truth, that's the first place to start. Honesty, integrity, these are all the very fundamental things. Why? The question goes very simply, how do we practice? Suppose you don't practice integrity or honesty, or you're not truthful. What's going to happen is the Bhagavan inside you, because I said see always inside. First in the form we talked about Sai Baba, see always inside. If you go inside, being awareness, the moment what is happening is the moment you speak untruth, you will see inside yourself. Inside yourself, something is going to come and say, hey, you're not speaking the truth. You don't need to go anywhere. Just see to yourself. You hear the voice inside. That's going to tell, hey, you are not honest. You are not anybody, even thief, anybody, even any kind of even demons. Everybody has this God inside telling all the time what is correct, what is truth, what is the right thing to do. So, what is honesty? What is integrity? It tells you that God, if we are connected with Him, see always inside, then we don't need to worry about Satya. So, this practicing the ideals, what is talking about. The more important thing is God is, why it's telling is, it's putting us into one important thing that is such an important thing to practice, because that is fundamental. If we don't practice, we are going to have issues inside. Our Bhagavan himself is not going to be aligned. You go on doing 500 mistakes, say 500 times, you tell 501st time you will say, my God, now let me align with it, because that is the duty of Bhagavan. He's trying to, even if we try to push him away, he's not going to leave us. That is the one good thing. Swami himself promised, and he told the promise that even if you try to get away, he will try to pull us in him. So it's never we will be able to get out of him. So once we are in his view, in his when he sees us, then we don't need to worry about it. When he is protecting us, so he will definitely correct us as well. So the most important thing is, but we need to have that faith that he, whatever he says inside, is the truth, and he is truth himself in the form of truth. There is so many other things we can still go deeper and deeper and deeper on truth. But again, another things which is said about truth is, whether it's past or present or future, it is changeless. This Atma is truth, because it is not going to change. It is always same. But this body is not truth. We are seeing it after some point of time, it's going to decay and then it's gone. So another body it will take, or whatever it is. So basically we can see, including Avatar's body, that body is not there anymore here. So what we are telling is that form, even though it is so beautiful and stuff, it is now installed in our hearts. That's no question about it. But physically, when you see that, so what we see is that Bhagavan that we have been talking about is not that body, is beyond. Because every time, even Bhagavad Gita, Dr. Reddy always says, hey, don't limit Bhagavan to this body. If we limit, we are fools. Then we are not understanding his true picture, who he is. So we always need to give that full form, and that form is truth. And the truth is all present everywhere, omnipresent. It's not a present in one place and it's not present in another place, right? That is also we have to understand. It's also changeless. We talked about it, past, present. Trikala Bhadyam Satyam. That's what it calls in Sanskrit. It's beyond, in all calls, it is still the same. That is the, in a way, Atma is what is represented, is changeless, that is truthful. And if you really, even other religions, I mean, Christianity, if you take, I wouldn't say other religions, and from Swamis, everything is all his religion only. In Christianity, actually speaking, there is a very beautiful discussion between Pilate and I think everybody knows about it. It's from Jesus. He was brought in by the the from the Sanhedrin church. Then they bring him in and tell him that he has done this, and Pilate questions Jesus. And then one question he asks is, hey, they're telling that you're the king. Then he says, yes, I'm not of this kingdom. But the kingdom what he talks about is different. And he says, then he talks, no, that is not truth, he says. Okay, then what is truth, he will ask. Then Jesus will be silent, because then he says, hey, I have the power to release you. Then he says very clearly, the power has been given to you. That Jesus tells Pilate. It's not that he says, I have the power to release you, I have the power to do anything. Then even at that moment of time, when this is going on, I don't know who will have that kind of thing, but so what we see from that incident is, even during that situation, he is connected with truth, and that is why he is able to speak the truth without any fear. Why? Because he also tells, he also shows his own disciple, Peter. We all know how much faith he had, so much faith he had. But then even Jesus himself praised him, hey, you will be the rock, the church will be built on him. But then what happens is that, hey, before the cock crows, then you will say that you will deny me thrice. And it happens. Thrice he denies when people come and ask him, he denies thrice. So that means even knowing living with Jesus, he was not able to accept. Otherwise, if he says yes, they will put him also with Jesus and put him to death. And he didn't want to go through that death. But here, Jesus willingly goes towards it. So, why I'm saying is that level of connection with God, that means he's God himself. That is, see, again, another thing if you see Chaitanya Charitra and everywhere, the first thing it comes back is so simply, it says only God can love God like that. Because unless God, like Sri Ramakrishna, everybody says, yes, he's God, so he can love God that way. But we are not like that. But we cannot put it that way and say we are not going to love God like, because we have to strive for it, that kind of love, then we will love him. Otherwise, we will just say, okay, he can love, we cannot love. We should not say that way. It's all giving a chance for us, connected with truth, and of course, like Jesus, what he did. We have timer. Looks like we have 2-3 minutes. Anybody else want to share any story on truth? Everybody wants to be very silent today. Because truth is silence as well. Okay, then we will pick up of the next week. You want to say something, Nirupama?
Just going to pose one of the questions,
Yeah, go ahead.
just to see if anyone would like to share how they would practice principles of honesty, integrity, and love to help awaken the divine reality of their true selves.
Constant awareness that Swami is with us, watching us, hearing us, and he is with us. I mean, I don't think we always have that awareness, and Swami's name increases that awareness. And suddenly, I feel sometimes, why I don't know, I'm not good at sitting down and praying and doing all the rituals. I've never done that. And that's just not me. But I'm always aware of Swami. I mean, 80% of my aware of Swami. Swami is watching me. He's there watching me. He's with me. Because of what I have gone through, I have that awareness. I know that he is always with us. No one needs to go into difficult time to really experience that. But having done that, have that 100% trust, belief, faith that he's always watching us. And that one, to start with, when we have that awareness, a lot changes about us itself. The way we talk, what we say, and what we do. There is an impact of that on everything that we do. And, I don't feel that I have to go to the temple every day or do this archanas, that archanas, and I don't. But what I'm aware of is when I get up, the first thing that has to come into my head is Om Sri Sai Ram. If I can't say that, if it doesn't come to my head, then I know that I'm not saying Namasmarana that much, and that bothers me. So I think if we can start with that awareness, constantly remembering that he does his work. He has promised us, all of us, as you said. I know that one who has experienced that has absolutely no doubt about that. He is watching us all the time. He's there for us. And when anybody has difficult times, he has angels for us. And the angels can come in any form. There are people that just show up and they help you when you. So I think I'm kind of satisfied with that. I don't. I feel that I have no much talent of singing or doing these different kinds of prayers, but I'm satisfied with this. If I can improve that awareness to 100%.
That's all enough. One time I used to, I was going in a car. Many times it happens, but suddenly real, almost like collision. But then it didn't happen. I was so happy. Then within a couple of minutes, just go for a couple of minutes, my Swami will come and remind me, hey, you forgot about me. you didn't say Sai Ram. Something happened. So you didn't say Sai Ram when this happened. So I was like, okay, Swami, next time I'll try it. And it so happens, not at that moment, after some little, that's okay. But that moment, it didn't. So that means I'm not fully aware. So it is a very easy evaluation of ourselves, how much I'm connected with. Suddenly I'm programming something. Oh, Swami, it's not working. Oh, suddenly. There when you have real problem, you'll go to Swami. But sometimes it happens that you're going fine and your car is going and suddenly something happens. Do I have that awareness? That's where we have to improve. Thank you. It's very beautiful.